Hello and welcome to another episode of the Daily Draft where we take Magic one draft at a time. We are in a Battle for Zendikar release Pack Pro and Swiss draft as per usual, and we're about to get started. Kind of pumped because I drafted a sweet deck last night and I didn't record it, so I'm hoping to get another one today and we'll see how it goes. Alright, we got everybody in the queue. We are on our way. Don't do this to me, Moto. Alright, sweet. Okay. We have a couple of really good options here. There's the Seminole Sheer Drop, first pick removal. In addition, Complete Disregard is another nice piece of removal, although I'd favor Sheer Drop over Complete Disregard. Turn Against, gain control of target creature until end of turn, it gains haste until end of turn. Pretty good, although the decks that I like tend to play Sheer Drop more than they play Turn Against. Excuse me, it's a really good card, but the rare in this pack is Nissa's Renewal. You search your library for up to 3 basic lands, put them on the battlefield tapped, shuffle your library, gain 7 life. Not something I'm super interested in. I guess we'll take the drop. Pretty happy with it. You can never be disappointed taking first pick removal, especially when you get past a Drana's Emissary. So we picked the right color. We got there, kids. 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Drana's Emissary, it's just straight up better than than Shadow Glider, in that it is an ally. 3, 4. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Pretty easily taking the Wasteland Strangler here. When it enters, it serves as removal if you can exile something. If you can't, then, well, it's just a 3-2, but that's fine. 3-2 for 3. Still pretty much hits the vanilla test where we want it to. So we have another Sheer Drop, which is the 3rd Sheer Drop in 3 packs, by the way. I think there was one in both of these packs, too. The 4th. Unified Front is good. Gideon's Approach is good as well. I think I want to diversify my removal a little bit. Clash of Currents is fine too, but I'm on the black-white plan, and I'd rather not deviate until I really have to. Colostria Healer is sweet. Whenever it or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you drain, which is pretty sweet. So I passed a Unified Front when I took the Gideon's Approach. Hopefully that wheels, although it's entirely possible that there's another person playing the core deck, but not on my right. Core Entangler is insane. There's another Core Castigator here. Shadow Glider is fine. But yeah, whenever it or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. This is especially good with cards like Unified Front, which just become a, get 4 guys, tap your team. Yeah, so I think we picked the right archetype for our spot based on our first 6 picks. So, based on very minimal information, our first 6 picks have yielded very good results for us. Yeah. Although it's entirely likely that we could have done just as well on the first 6 picks in another archetype. We did see a really late Turn Against, which tends to go very early. On top of, I think it was the Colostria Healer. So it's possible that people are still feeling their way into whatever archetype they are looking to go into. So Dominator Drone is super aggressive. Ghostly Sentinel is probably the best card in this pack. It's the flyer. Benthic Infiltrator is super late, but I think I just want the Ghostly Sentinel. Wow, this is basically the same pack, except for there's a Royal Spout in it. I could take the Expedition Envoy, or like a Dominator Drone. I think I just want to take the Royal Spout though, because if I'm playing like a bunch of good Awaken cards, I want to be playing blue anyway. I'm gonna take the Nissa's Renewal over like Lithomancer's Focus. There's a chance that we end up running it. 5-color allies is super good. And while I don't agree with the assessment that if you want a Nissa's Renewal, there's a good chance you'll get it from limited resources, because it is a really sweet card. Also, Narcana Assassin, just incidentally an ally, incidental upside for playing Withdrawn Emissary, Colossary Healer. But, so yeah, Nissa's Renewal, pretty sweet, but not something that I'm really planning on building around now that I've gotten it. Here, I can take the Slab Hammer, not really interested in it. Not right now anyway. I think I just play the Natural Connection to go with my Nissa's Renewal. It's a very thematic pick, I think. Yeah. The likelihood that we're playing green is pretty equivalent to the likelihood that we open a green bomb that we need to just do more than splash for. Here I am going to take Angelic Gift. It's pretty good in the aggressive allies decks. I'll take Scour from Existence. It's a reasonable sideboard card in matchups that kind of grind. Not planning on playing Brilliant Spectrum, and I love this mountain art, so. Speaking of bombs, yeah, I'm pretty happy taking Emiria Shepherd. I've gotten really good results from this, and it actually does make me look at these and be like, oh, maybe I don't need to play like the just grindy allies deck. So yeah, definitely taking it. Here I have a couple of options. I could take the Lifespring Druid, or Blighted Fen. Blighted Fen is pretty sweet, but I am not convinced that this card is really fantastic. I could also just take a Shadow Glider, but I think I'd rather have Mana Fixing. Now that we're like, hey, Emiria Shepherd, I want to play that card and get the most out of it, which is probably going to be by getting multiple triggers. Awesome. Okay, so here we're definitely taking this Unified Front. Put a 1/1 white core ally creature token onto the battlefield for each color of mana spent to cast it, which is sweet with Colossary Healer. I'm pretty sure we're still playing that, and sweet when you have like green Mana Fixing. Also, Core Entanglers again. That interaction is just kind of insane. What? What is this? Third pick? Okay, I'll take it. I was gonna take this Courier Griffin, but then I'm like, wait a second, that's a Rolling Thunder. That's about all I'm gonna say about that card. So here, I could take Colossary Healer again. There's a Kozilek's Channeler, which is a pretty sweet ramp card for Emiria Shepherd. I think I just want a second Colossary Healer, though. Kind of wonder whether my deck is actually like a ramp deck. Not Colostri Healer. Kozilek's Chandler is a pretty safe pick. There's a chance I'll be playing it no matter what. Hagra Sharpshooter and Cliffside Lookout are both fine allies, but I think I just want the Channeler. I'm going to take the Snapping Gnarlet here. We have a couple of landfall enablers that make it really good. I could actually see cutting like these cards. Possibly this one. Although Angelic Gift out of Snapping Gnarlet seems really good. And just playing like good stuff as a function of that's what you're supposed to do anyway. Ooh. Mama. Alright. I think I take Grove Tender Druids over Core Castigator. Like, Core Castigator is a pretty sweet card, and it's pretty aggressive. But Grove Tender Druids is sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. It's technically more of a 5-drop. But yeah, this is also really good when you have the cards that pump all of your creatures. Like the Beastmaster or the Warcaller. Interesting. I could take the Colostria Nightwatch. And I think I will. Again, I'm not quite sure if I'm on the ramp plan. Blighted Fenwield, so we might not play it. I did have a conversation with somebody on the channel about playing colorless lands in a multicolor deck, and it is a little bit sketchy. So we'll see. Let's see. One of our ideal opens would probably be Retreat to Emeria. Yeah, easily just taking the Sandstone Bridge. Like, that card's sweet. Tandem Tactics is okay. Ooh. Ah, man, Cliffside Lookout Wield? Sick. Like, that's the card I was considering picking when I picked up some other nonsense. I could double splash Rolling Thunder, right? Duststalker, not really what we wanted to open. The best cards in here for the deck are Beastmaster, Evolving Wilds, and Natural Connection, probably. And I think we just want the Evolving Wilds to fix our mana early without having to be able to cast like Natural Connection. Here, I'm going to take the Royals Retribution, I think. That's decent removal. Yeah, I'm going to take the Royals Retribution. Alright, so this is another interesting pack. There's a Halmar Tidecaller, which can get back Royal Spout and Sheer Drop. There's also a Blade Master, which is just a great finisher. And I think even though we have kind of a glut of 5s, I want to pick that up. So there's a Coastal Discovery here, as well as a Tajuru Stalwart. I'm kind of disappointed past the Halmar Tidecaller now, but I think I'm going to take the Coastal Discovery. Again, our motto for the day is we're taking the good cards. So the life gain / ally strategy is kind of secondary to ramping really hard into a Myria Shepherd and then returning all of our cards to the battlefield. It's basically a better March from the Tombs because it can attack. Woohoo! I really like Undo Rising. It's a sweet card. It's really good. There's also McKinley Patrol. So I'm a little torn. Yeah. Undo Rising's sweet. Awaken 4 is huge in this set. So I'm gonna take Transgress the Mind here. I'm kind of moving away from black into like every other color, but it's still worth having. Even if it's just a sideboard card. Wheel of a Kidney Patrol, so I'm gonna take it. I guess I'm gonna put the Kozilek's Channeler in my sideboard. Royal's Retribution, like looking at it, it's probably a sideboard card. Just saying. Angelic Gift is not gonna make the cut. I'm not sure about the double Colostria Healer. Like, this is good. Like, if we don't look at the allies for a second. Ooh, Beastmaster Wield though, so we might. I'll just add that to sideboard. We have a really interesting deck. I like it. Pathway Arrows is actually a pretty sweet sideboard card. Geyserfield Stalker is probably just worse than Colostria Nightwatch in this deck. That mount is pretty. Our mana fixing is kind of minimal, but our cards are really good, so hopefully that'll get us there. So I'm probably not playing Transgress the Mind. Wasteland Strangler in this deck is just really worse than a lot of the stuff that we could be doing. Alright, so we have 28 cards, and I want to play 18 lands in this deck because we want to get to things like Myria Shepherd and have cards like Nissa's Renewal and Rolling Thunder. So we have a lot of payoff for playing a pretty land heavy deck. So, oops, no, that's not what I wanted. Stop it. Tandem Tactics is probably just gonna get the cut. Like, it's not really something I'm interested in doing a lot of the time. 4, 5, and I consider Undo Rising to be 6 instead of 5 because unless you have just a stacked board already, you want to be attacking with a 4/4 as well. Ghostly Sentinels is probably the worst of all of my 5s. Excuse me. Like, Kozilek's Channeler isn't great either, I suppose. Natural Connection goes there. Uniform Front is a kind of a creature spell. We have 2 more cuts. Like, I guess Ghostly Sentinel has flying, which is, you know, something to be said about that. I think I'm gonna keep in Kozilek's Channeler though because I have so many like high mana cost spells that I'd rather be playing the Channeler. Do I want to be playing the Colostria Healers now? It's another good question. I think so. Is Snapping Gnarlid any good? Also a good question. Probably. Gonna say there's definitely a possibility of them being good. Cliffside Lookout seems insane in this deck, just because we have like Unified Front, Grove Tender Druids, stuff like that. Is Royal Spout something we want to be doing? Probably not. I think that we can be splashing for blue for Coastal Discovery, and that's it, and be fine. Whereas we want to be like base, like green-white, with some black, like a smaller amount of, and like a larger amount of green and a smaller amount of red and blue. So yeah, we'll see how this works out. It might be terrible. Like, spoilers. It just might be awful. So we have 7, 5. We want 6 and 6. That doesn't seem right, but this does. Right? 3, yeah. We'll see how this goes. I'll see you guys in round 1.